you've decided this is who I am. I'm an anxious person. One of the things that was a turnaround for me was saying, this is not who I want to be. This is not who I am. I believed it for a long time, like I'm just anxious. We don't have to be. We can say, I'm not going to be an anxious. I'm trying to make like a champagne-y color for the dress because I need to paint shadows in it, because if I make it all white, it's two-dimensional and it's just flat. But every time I put shadows in there, it looks like it's just got stains on her dress, and I don't know what to do about it. I could maybe make the dress champagne and then put white highlights on it. Oh, that might work. That the Bible tells us not to have anxiety, but he doesn't say don't have the anxious thoughts, because God knew that we would have those. It's human nature. They fly in there. The thoughts fly in. They may or may not be accurate. They may or not be true. They may or not be necessary. They're going to go in there, and that's not sinful. That's not crazy. I remember hearing people say worry is a habit, and I would think, that's insulting. No, it's not. I just felt like that was not fair, and that was not what was happening. But the physical part, your body, it actually is a habit, which is a great thing because we do get to control our bodies with our minds. Our minds control our bodies. Once you know there is a purpose for the slow breathing, slower going out, that literally, even if your thoughts are racing, your parasympathetic nervous system literally will slow your heart rate down and tell your brain, hey, we're not in danger if you are breathing slowly. When you breathe in, like, I hate to say a number, like for me it's 4 beats, but try to breathe out for at least 4 beats, maybe 6, something like that. The longer you can breathe out while you're breathing out, the brain is telling your body, calm down. And that helps, knowing that your body will take care of that for you. Because when your body is doing that, then it tells your brain, you panic. That can make you feel crazy if you can't slow down your racing heart when you know you're not physically in danger. When your body is in fight or flight, I'm sure you've heard of that by now, that breathing in and out slowly, sticking your hands in ice water, turning upside down. I have a yoga stand thing, and I put my shoulders where I can be upside down. I know it sounds, you have to stop the voice that says, you're a lunatic, this is crazy. It's not crazy. It's smart, because it's changing your brain and your body to make a happier life. Action helps put a stop to ruminating and things. That always helps. That's why it always helps to go on a walk or something. I mean, science has proven that anyway for depression and all the things. But also just because it puts you outside of your brain for a minute. I can get up and move. I can think of a task to do. I can put on praise music. I will pray, obviously, because praying automatically affects the part of your mind that is like meditation, that you calms your nervous system down. There's just all these things that go together that are effective. Why am I anxious though? What was I thinking in the first place? For me, the times that I was able to feel calm enough and stop and think, what is it that started this? Why? What am I afraid of? There's got to be some fears. I would always say, when someone would say, what is it you're afraid of? I would say everything and nothing. There's nothing, but everything feels scary, which is not helpful. It boiled down to worried about what people would think of me when I'm out in the world. What do people think? I don't want them to think I'm weird or gross. Will I have to be polite when it's stressing me out? Will I talk to myself in public and feel crazy? Does my family think I'm an idiot? Is my husband tired of messing with me? Do I have boogers in my nose? Am I going to have to talk to somebody across a counter and then find out I have junk in my eye? I don't know. So what does that actually boil down to? Oh, wanting people to like me. So to begin to start teaching my brain, this is not the thought we're going to have. It's making you miserable. First of all, the people that I see out in the world are not thinking about me. They're thinking about themselves. We know this. They're thinking the same things, maybe. No one's paying attention to me. Why do I think they are? And secondly, God says that I do not have to care about pleasing people. I'm supposed to love God and love other people, not want to please them and hope that they think I'm amazing. Even when you aren't sure what it is, if you are believe that God is actually in control of the universe, that he loves you, that you're here to walk with him, that he actually cares about us, but that he says, cast the anxiety on me because I care for you. And it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple because when you can say, it doesn't matter what I'm worried about though, I'm depending on my understanding, and my understanding is not all there is. We can't see everything. We can't see all the variables. We can't see the future, certainly. We think we know what people think or what they're going to do. We think we know what to expect, but we don't. We know what we expect what has always happened and what we've always thought and what people have said. But from here forward, we don't know. God knows. And he's the one that says, I know actually And I'm telling you to not lean on what your own understanding of the situation is. It takes kind of practice because I'm used to feeling anxious, and so I've got a lot of texture on it. I'll go back and put white over this raised parts. I'll make it a little, that'll kind of run over the flowers, and that's okay. I do get to choose what I think. You can't choose what pops in there. No guilt over that. But you can choose to say, even though I don't feel like it right now, my body's not following, I'm going to choose to not worry. And I don't mean to simplify it like it's so easy, because it's not, but only because your brain's not used to it. Your brain wants to go, but that's what we do though. This is what we do. And you get to keep telling it, we're not going to do that. I'm going to think about something else right now. He cares so much about me that there's nothing I need to worry about, even though it's human nature. We get to practice it and make our brain and our body fall in line. Quick note, this process is not immediate. If you have anxiety, you're going to try this once, you're going to still feel anxious, and you're going to say, it doesn't work, it's not going to work for me, I'm stuck with it. I'm sorry. We get to make new pathways in our brain, but it takes time. It's to sort of wear a groove in it. Sort of like water running down a hill over rock. Has to repeatedly run down it before it makes a groove in there. I don't want to say it'll take years because that's discouraging, but I want it to be encouraging that you're going to keep doing it and still feel anxious, but it will get easier and easier and easier. Until one day you think, oh, I haven't felt anxious in a while for no reason. I promise. It's you telling your brain, this is not actually who I am, and I get to choose, and so it may take a while. The Lord loves to work out our problems. He actually says, don't worry, because tomorrow is in my hands. And I know it's not that simple. Anxiety is much more complicated than that, but on the other hand, that's what it takes, that kind of thought. The devil would love for us to think this is just who we are, and you're not, because God would not put a command in the Bible that we literally could not follow through on. So we know that we can. He's right there. He knows that it's difficult, that it feels like a permanent disposition that you have, and you don't have to. I am promising you that. I hope that helps. Probably shouldn't do that. Okay,